there, in this video I thought that I would make some bracelets for Etsy. I will be using this little tray I got from the Dollar Tree a while back, some miscellaneous beads. I thought I would use these little clay fruit beads, and I've also got some letter beads and some colors left of this one beading set I got on Amazon. I thought I would use the fruit and the lettering to make fruits of the spirit themed bracelets. I've also got this stretch cord, and I don't like tying knots in my bracelets. I never trusted knots for some reason, so I typically use crimping tubes, which look like this. They're the only brand I trust is Beadalon. All other brands I've tried are just super cheap and they just fall apart. So Beadalon is the only brand I trust, although they're actually really hard to find. I happened to find these ones at a thrift store. It was really random. I'm using size number 2, 1.5 millimeters. That's what I use to close off the bracelet once I'm done. And yeah, I'm going to get started. I'm going to make them roughly adult-sized bracelets. So I usually measure around my own wrist and then cut, and I typically make them 7 inches around or just a little bit under 7 inches. I figure that if your wrist is bigger than mine, it's okay because this stretches, and if it's smaller, then 7 inches is pretty snug on me, so I figure that's a pretty good size for a bracelet. I always tape down one end of the stretch cord to my little tray so that the beads don't fly off. For my Fruit of the Spirit themed bracelet, this is what I have in mind. I made this one about a week ago. I would kind of do the first initial of each of the fruits of the spirit, so love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, and then do some little fruit beads and then some just nice bright and colorful seed beads.
Now I'm going to pick out all of the acronym beads.
Now I'm going to choose some fruit beads. I think I'll go with a grape and an apple. I have a lot, I have a lot of apple beads, so I'm trying to get rid of them. I have this little set came with 2 types of apple beads, so there's like twice as many apples as all the other fruit. It's got the sliced apple and then the whole apple, and I have just way too many of them, so I'm going to try to get rid of some. I'm going to try and use up some of these beads. I don't like them very much. They were kind of cheap, so I'm trying to get rid of them. This was a like super duper Chinese brand off of Amazon. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to start using my Hobby Lobby brand beads instead. For the grape side, I think I'm going to mix up some of these lavender beads with some of the kind of pale sky blue beads. I always forget how frustrating it is to make jewelry with long nails. But I've been growing them out for a while, and I'm not going to clip them until I have to. I'm going to use this one as reference to make sure I'm getting the right length. Okay, you can do with one more bead. Now I'll do the apple bead. And I did not think far enough ahead. I'm going to have to figure out what color to do next, because they have to go with purple and blue. And I'm thinking bright red will not match that very well, even though it would match the apple. But I ran out of pink.
This is a conundrum.
Got this other set that I've had for a while. Maybe I'll just do turquoise. Doesn't match apple at all, but I don't really care. Now I'm gonna check the length, and it is just under 7 inches, which is what I like. Now I'm going to take the crimping tube, or crimping, actually technically this is a crimp bead. The tubes are a little bit longer and less rounded. I'm going to put the crimp bead on the string, and then what I like to do is stretch it really thin, wrap it around my finger to keep it stretched tight, and then grab the other end and stick it through. And then let go, tighten it, and take my crimping pliers and crimp the bead like the instructions say to do. Making sure that it's staying nice and tight. You crimp it once to get a little crimp down the middle, and then you crimp it again to kind of squash the sides together. And then I always pull on them to make sure that it's nice and tight and nothing's gonna move, nothing's gonna slip out and undo itself and fling beads everywhere. That seems good. So now I get to trim the ends off, and that was done. And this is what it looks like when it's on. And it's it's like the perfect width for me. And like I said, if your wrist is a little bigger, that's fine, it stretches. And if it's a little smaller, it'll just be a little loose. Alright, I'm back to do the second one. I think I'm going to make this one entirely apple themed, just to get rid of some more apple beads. And I think I will use up some of these red and yellow beads because I don't tend to use those ones a whole lot. It's done. Another one successfully finished. Alright, for the third bracelet, I'm gonna choose the fruit first. I have a lot of blue beads left, but they don't really go with any of the fruit very well because I don't have any like blueberries or any other blue fruit. Or blueberries, the only blue fruit are blueberries. Huckleberries. Although huckleberries are kind of more purple. Are there other blue fruits besides blueberries? I don't know. I think blue and the kiwi shouldn't be too bad together. And I'll just do another grape. Do blue seed beads and then a grape bead and a kiwi bead. Yeah, these are the 3 I made for this video. I will make them available on my Etsy shop. That's why I made them. Yeah, I've made Fruits of the Spirit bracelets in the past, and they've always sold pretty well. So that's why I went and did some more of them. Especially when they have the fruit beads. I think that makes them like extra, just so much cuter and more interesting, and kind of ironic because, you know, the fruits of the spirit are spiritual fruits, not literal kiwis and grapes and apples and whatnot. I also have some kid-sized versions as well. These ones are 6 inches around instead of 7. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!